ụmụnne Ndi Igbo ekene m unu. Afọ m bụ Ezeokoli Blessing Chimeze. Ihe unu ji wee mara m on social media bụ Jack. Today I'm the Voice of the East, and this is actually the first edition of Voice of the East podcast, and then we are going to be having a very interesting conversation today, and the conversation is centered around nkata di anga gbasara Ndi Igbo, ndị mmadụ ada like itinye ọnụ ya. And seated down here with me on this particular edition of the podcast is my very own brother, and my partner, Chief Gaius Chibueze Ngene. Unuji Bitcoin Chief Uemaro. He also happens to be, of course, the chairman of Eastside Ventures. So Muniano today, and we are going to be having very interesting conversation.
most avoided conversations.
Thank you, sir. Good to be on this particular very interesting session with you. So Imago, of course, Iman ihe mụ na gị chọrọ ịkpa today. Ihe ndị be anyị na-agbara ọsọ. Ihe ndị mmadụ na like itinye ọnụ ya.
Nobody wants to talk about
exactly,
it. Exactly,
mana the conversation dị mkpa maka ọganiru Ndi Igbo. So I'm going to start by asking you this particular question. Ima, ị gaa na social media both my ebe niile ndị be anyị na-ekwu every other time about seaports, na Southeast and all of that. And achọrọ m ịjụ gị, is seaport really very important to the economic development of Ndi Igbo? Is that the most important thing I need as Ndi Igbo to actually develop? I want to hear your
I think I have this is an interesting question, because this topic always comes up.
Yes. And
I see some of the people. So one day something happened on Twitter. So there's one guy that goes on every post that I make, asking Ndi Igbo to invest in the Southeast, to prioritize the Southeast in investment.
Yes.
So this guy will always be countering me on Ajumsi. How can they invest where there is no seaport? So this question is very, very important in the sense that so one day I took out time and I was trying to educate him on why a seaport is not a priority of Ndi Igbo. It might be one of those things we need.
Of course.
You understand? But what with the River State or the Port Harcourt Seaport,
yes,
which
and
is
the one in One,
and the one in One, which is just few hours away from the Southeast. In short, not even few hours. You understand?
Yes.
Which is very, very close to the Southeast.
Exactly.
So I was trying to educate him and say that if we want to arrange the priorities of issues that need to be addressed in Ala Igbo,
exactly,
from 1 to 10, that seaport is not even among
the top 10. In my own personal opinion.
Exactly. That fine, we need seaport, we need international airport, but seaport is not our number 1 to 10 priority.
I agree.
In terms of things that we really need. So now okay, do you know that a country as big as Uganda,
yes, doesn't
have any seaport?
True.
Uganda doesn't have any seaport,
but they are doing well.
Yes, but they are doing well. You understand? And Nemoya explain. Nasia, if you want to look at what we really need in the Southeast right now is good access roads, even before seaport.
I agree with you. Because
you see that even right here in the Southeast, something as small as good accessible road from Aba to Abakaliki, we don't have. Wonders. You understand? It will change the economic landscape of the Southeast.
Entirely.
Even something as small as a railway connecting the 5 Southeast states.
Chief, railway are the small. In the Nigerian context.
You understand? In the Nigerian context. You understand? So, I was trying to explain to him that if you really want to check what we really need, that the seaport is not among the top 10.
Okay, so let me come in here. Maka, ajujua, muna ndi mmadụ anụgo ọgụ gbasara ya too much on social media. And I believe that a lot of people are hotaro. First of all, the first question in Ndi Igbo, that watching this, that will probably watch this. First of all, what do you need a seaport for? Because Ndi mmadụ need is this question very sincerely with an open mind. Now, what do you need a seaport for? Normally, you need a seaport to import goods, right, and export goods. At the moment, only high produce in the southeast
exactly
that need exportation. So what that means is that no, when you build a seaport, it means it's just for importation.
It's just for consumption.
And
it's just bringing in nothing.
And then when those seaport, when those ships come in, they leave empty, making it unviable as a business. Because a lot of people are around that shipping is a private business. As you know, federal government they're shipping. It's just the same way airline. A lot of people are complaining, we don't have this, we don't have that. But you know, one man, these are private businesses. You cannot, in all sincerity, tell me as a businessman to bring my ship and come into a region where they are not producing anything. Now, away from that, a lot of people that now southeast they have a large volume of water. So because now you have a large volume of water, what we can do at best is actually a river port, which means that we cannot have a ship dock in our region at the moment, regardless of where any governor. This is the reality and this is the truth. A lot of people know that, but the problem I am about that now. There has been so much lies, misinformation, one-sided truth that have been told to our people for so long. And people are meant to believe that now problem as Ndi Igbo, seaport, which is not true. Southeast and Igbo can be extremely, successful with or without a seaport stationed in our region. By the way, if we need a place we can be importing, why can't we do a dry port? This is what they are doing across the world for places where you don't have large volume of water. I have heard a lot of people go, why can't we dredge? Why can't we dredge River Niger? Our people, a lot of people, and I'm speaking specifically to a lot of Gen Zs now, matter that now. A river port was actually built in Onitsha in 1970 something. I think 1976, that's when that river port was opened. Up until today, that river port had not docked any ship. Up until today.
No vessel.
And a lot of people are not asking the right questions as to why is that place not productive. Do you understand? If you want to begin to dredge, a lot of people don't also know that even our government does not even have the financial capacity to do dredging.
True.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So these are some of the things I need, sometimes I need to
yes.
You understand? And begin to correct some of those impressions and some of those one-sided truths and some of those lies that have been told over the years. Because only an average young person I cannot know now. See, I said the first thing it
Osigi seaport when we are not even producing anything. And we might even have the Nigerian problem. Now, what do I call the Nigerian problem now? I read somewhere that 99% of the ship that bring in goods into Nigeria, that as soon as they offload everything that they bring into Nigeria, they leave back empty.
I agree.
99% of them leave back empty.
Nigeria is a very unproductive
so which means that even if we have a seaport in the southeast, the same thing is going to be happening.
It is super unproductive.
And let me even tell you something I have been thinking. Now, the southeast is supposed to be a production zone.
Exactly.
In short, in the 1980s, the southeast was referred to as the Japan of Africa during the days of Michael Okpara. The southeast was referred to as the Japan of Africa. You understand?
Yeah.
Even up to the 80s.
I agree.
You understand? The southeast was referred to as the Japan of Africa, where a lot of things like the production going on in Nnewi, in Aba, in all these places, in all those places.
A lot of production.
But right now, if there is a seaport where we are not even producing anything now, what will happen now is that it will even kill our local creativity.
I agree.
Because it will just be importing everything. You understand? Which is not
naturally the role we are supposed to play in the grand scheme of things in Africa.
We are not supposed to just be importers. We are supposed to be exporting and bringing in forex.
Production
powerhouse
of Africa.
Not even Nigeria. So you understand? Exactly. So these people are not even looking at it from that angle. So I was telling this guy and say, okay, have you ever asked yourself, if they bring this seaport today, what can we be exporting from the southeast? As it stands today, there is there's no large production house in the southeast producing anything.
Let me give you an example. We don't have electricity. We don't have gas in southeast to even encourage manufacturers to even start producing. We don't have, people are not talking about the real important things that will actually spur development in our region.
Yeah.
Only open an face seaport, as if no one here I got a seaport, then all the Panina in the southeast are go. Look at a road like Enugu, from Enugu to Onitsha. That express, I think, is about 110 kilometers from Enugu to Onitsha. Since Ndi married here as a human being,
it has never been in a
that road has been under construction up until today. And you can imagine why. Then I ask myself, why are people not actually discussing the real things? Security is not in your region. You're not talking about security in the region.
Because even the seaport that you're talking about now, let's say they create a seaport now, and when there is insecurity, which freight company in the United States is going to
start coming to your region?
They will definitely be concerned about a ship hijack or something.
What is even the most important question to ask is, where is the water volume? People need to actually ask that question, because here behavior holding the banye.
Yes.
You know, I heard somebody was telling me that that there were shipping routes from Anambra, closer to the Atlantic Ocean than even Lagos.
Yeah, too much misinformation.
Do you understand?
Too much.
Do you understand that level of misinformation that is in the polity? And a lot of our people believe these things.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it. I'm just putting it out there for people to actually, research about these things and find out the truth. Anyway, Chief, let's go to another. Let's talk about another thing, because we will not even leave here.
Definitely.
But let me ask you very quickly. Imago na Nigeria, Ndi Igbo, there are a lot of people believe that. Now we have some people believe that political party fulanya nanya iche na Igbo. Of course, the major parties in Nigeria, we have the PDP, we have LP, we have APC, we have APGA, we have ADC, and all of that. Is there any political party in this country now at the moment especially interest in Ndi Igbo?
My brother, this question now, is something we were discussing one certain time, me and you, where I was telling you that Ndi Igbo as a people have been hostile to APC, probably because of the way APC was marketed to Ndi Igbo. This has made our people to not even give APC a chance, or to even understand how to even play this political game.
Man, what the APC are now?
You understand? Because
is it people the way, because I don't think that APC is making genuine effort to actually market themselves.
No. So for the case of APC, which is seen as an anti-Igbo party, even though for me it is not. Okay. For the case of APC, I think that the Igbo people in APC have not really marketed APC right. They have not really marketed APC the right way to our people. I will give you an example.
Or do you think no?
Yes. No.
Are you sure?
We have some great minds from Ala Igbo that are in APC, but here is the problem now. So Ndi Igbo are emotional people, maybe because of what happened to us during the war.
Okay.
So we are very emotional, and we are emotional when it comes to everything, even the political party that we decide to associate with. Most people have been thinking that PDP or LP is a friend or party of Ndi Igbo. Even something as close as APGA. Okay, I'll give you an example. APGA is supposed to be the party of Ndi Igbo.
Exactly.
But APGA was even one of the parties that even stood up against the first Igbo man that was very close to presidency in this generation of today, which is P2B.
Yes.
During the 2023 election.
True.
Professor Chukwu Masoludo,
he wrote a
long letter that
castigating
that
Obi,
demarketed Peter Obi,
and saying that he will not even win Anambra. He said he might not win Anambra.
He said he might not even win Anambra.
But Peter Obi went on to win 11 states.
So I'm trying to use APGA to show you how far no political party is a friend of Ndi Igbo, and no political party is an enemy of Ndi Igbo. And this is where I want our people to do something different. So let me go back to what I was saying before. So APC, the Igbo people in APC don't understand how to market APC to Ndi Igbo. I give you an example. I was talking to you the other day about Honorable Benjamin Kalu and the Bola Tinubu University he proposed in Abia State or wherever.
That was
so. Do you know? When I read it, I said, this guy had an opportunity. All what he needed to do was pick an icon that Ndi Igbo respect, somebody like Emma Yokpara, and then say APC government is going to open a university and name it Emma Yokpara University or whatever. So what would have happened? Or pick somebody like Nnamdi Ojukwu and say APC government want to immortalize Nnamdi Ojukwu by creating a university that would teach his values. So he wouldn't have received the kind of backlash he received. So Ndi Igbo are still feeling hot. Some of our people are still feeling very, very hot because they feel that the presidency, like they feel that Tinubu stole Peter Obi's mandate.
Which could be true anyway.
Which could be true or not. I'm not concerned about that.
Okay.
But the thing is that these people are still hot, and then you're telling them that you want to come and give them a Bola Tinubu University as a way to market APC.
No.
Even Tinubu himself, if you ask him,
that was a point.
If you ask Tinubu himself to tell you genuinely, he will not even want a university named after him, even in his Lagos. You understand? So this is one of those ways I feel APC Igbo people in APC have not been able to market APC rights to Ndi Igbo, because they were supposed to be using the things that Ndi Igbo like to market APC to them. They were supposed to come after winning this 2023 election or after stealing it or whatever. They were supposed to come and now say, what are those things that interest these people? And then use those things and create projects or activities around them that will now make these people feel like, these people, even though they stole this thing from us, but they like us. So I'm still coming to your question again. So I have always said, and I've always argued online, that PDP is not a friend of Ndi Igbo. APC is not an enemy of Ndi Igbo. Labour Party is not a friend of Ndi Igbo. APC,
I can collaborate.
You understand? So all the political parties are run or governed by people of interest.
True.
Any political party, what they are looking for part-time is interest. And once they see anybody that their interest aligns with them, that was why you saw in 2023, PDP had every chance,
opportunity.
They had all the opportunities to make P2B their running.
I led the protest. I led the Give Us P2B protest to PDP office to demand that they give us P2B, because we saw clearly that this man had everything that he takes to win 2027 election. So Muma personally, when I'm up for the PDP, so I don't even think that party should survive in Southeast. This is my personal opinion.
Yes, because the
Southeast won't marry too much.
Because the Southeast gave PDP every the foundational members of PDP, the likes of Alex Ekweme and the rest of them were the founders of PDP.
True.
So you understand? So in the since Nigeria returned to democracy, Southeast PDP has always won almost all Southeast states.
True.
So this was supposed to be a time to compensate, time to at least compensate. At least PDP has, during Goodluck Jonathan and Buhari, PDP lost the north,
but they won in Southeast.
But they won the Southeast. All these other years, except 2023 election, PDP has always won the Southeast. No particular region in Nigeria has been more loyal and patriotic to the PDP than the Southeast. But what happens? Because of their vested interest, because of their interest didn't align. So even Labour Party today, I laugh when people see people decamp from Labour Party to APC and they are insulting them. I said, are you stupid? These people are just politicians merely using platforms.
True.
Political parties are platforms.
Ima, so there was something you said I will pick. You talked about Ndi Igbo being, emotional. Possibly because of what happened to us during the war. And I understand that. But you also need to agree with me that humans are emotional beings.
Yes,
you understand? If it gets to a point where you are no longer emotional, you cease to be a human, in my own opinion. However, what I think is that maybe Ndi needs to actually, manage our emotions better.
Yes.
And start, looking at politics the way other regions see politics. Now, I have been opportune to, be around a good number of politicians. And then, if there's one thing I've learned is that no politician in Nigeria, see political parties from the lenses of supporters like us.
No.
They see political parties as mere platforms.
Yes.
All of them. And I say this boldly on cameras. All the politicians in this country all see political parties as a mere platform.
Yes.
And so, I think it's high time, especially the younger people, the younger generation that don't know how these things work, right? To actually begin to understand that now, okay, all the quaka, you understand, we might just be able to get maybe a credible candidate in, all the political parties.
This is
it could be from any party.
God.
Do you understand? Any
this
party
is exactly
can
what I'm
come
saying.
back and give Ndi Igbo this thing we are looking for.
Yes, no.
So I totally agree with you on this particular issue.
Yeah.
Mana, I also think that the leadership of each and every one of those parties need to actually show interest. They need to actually understand where we are as Ndi Igbo, understand our pains, and then show concern about what we are going through as a people.
True.
If for example, for PDP, for example, I actually genuinely think that PDP owns Ndi Igbo unreserved apology.
Yes.
Personally, as an individual.
Yes, definitely.
Because what they did in 2023 was, to me, has to be the most hurtful thing any political party has ever done to Ndi Igbo. And me, personally, I don't think I'll be able to forgive them. But that is by the way. Let me not hog the mic too much. Chief, this brings me to a question I want to ask you. Okay, so about 2 months ago, the social media went agog with the news of Bianca Ojukwu, appointment as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of State on Foreign Affairs. And it came with, there was a lot of reaction.
Yes,
you understand?
And both positive and negative.
Both positive and negative, and exactly. Some people liked it. Some people were not so comfortable with it. Some people felt it was an insult. Some people felt, maybe she deserved more. Personally, as an individual, I felt she deserved more. I felt it was an insult to our leader, Odumegwu Ojukwu, to actually have his wife, his beautiful wife that he loves so much,
Reverend,
as the Minister of State.
Yes.
What stops them from making her a substantial minister of Foreign Affairs? This was my own personal thought. But I want to know what you think about it. Like, what was your own reaction? What do you think?
I think we share the same school of thought.
Okay.
So I loved as a businessman and a born marketer. Okay. I commended APC. I loved what they did.
Okay.
Because Ndi Igbo, like I said, we are very emotional. When anything concerns Ojukwu,
sure,
there is a way you get us from, and this is why you didn't see the kind of reaction
you would have seen if
it was another person.
True.
As respected as Bianca Ojukwu going into accepting an appointment from an APC-led federal government.
True.
But here's where I think they got it wrong. Now, making her a minister of state, to me, was not really the right thing to have done. They would have made her just the substantial minister, as you said.
True.
But I am also very grateful that she accepted the appointment.
No, it was a very smart decision.
I knew that if she accepted that appointment, this will be APC's winning streak. Like I have said, the APC is not an enemy of Ndi Igbo. It's not an enemy party of Ndi Igbo. PDP is not a lover of Ndi Igbo. Even Labour Party, even APGA APGA is even more anti Ndi Igbo than APC. APGA that you know is more anti Ndi Igbo.
Let Professor Solution hear this.
You understand?
From you.
So now, but I gave you my reason. I gave you my reason.
I agree.
APGA was the only political party that came out fully against the nearest we have ever gone to being in the presidency.
True.
You understand? So I think Bianca's nomination and appointment as a minister, I think it was a strategic move by APC, and I am very thankful to God that she accepted. Here is why. Now we keep being so emotional to the extent that even what is due to us in our national sharing formula of Nigeria, we have left it to the hands of bad people. So we just always allow the worst of us to occupy those strategic positions, and then use it, and then use that position against us, Ndi Igbo, and then we come back and we complain. Here's my problem with APC. Here's my problem with Southeast APC caucus. Some of them, which forms 90% of them that are vocal, they lack emotional intelligence. And this is where I think Bianca is going to get it right. Bianca will support the presidency that have given her an appointment. But watch out, in these next 3 years that she's going to be the minister, she's going to be more focused on her job that she has been brought in to do. Okay. She's going to be more focused on her job. She will allow Nigerians judge her by her performance and not praise singing. You understand? She will allow Nigerians judge her by her performance and not praise singing.
And this is what a lot of them get wrong, because when they join APC, they start praising. I didn't know Bola Ahmed Tinubu was this intelligent. He's the Messiah. He's this. He's the lover of Ndi Igbo.
God bless you. So some of them, they made that mistake under Buhari, and they are still making that mistake. Imagine what Dave Umahi once said about Ndi Igbo. So these people lack emotional intelligence. So Bianca is going to get it right with this. She's going to, I'm sure, if she's definitely watching this, she's going to keep her mouth shut, do her job well, and then allow Ndi Igbo judge her, and allow Ndi Igbo and Nigerians judge her by her performance.
Mana, let me be honest. There's something you said I did not agree with you on this issue of Bianca. So you said that it was a strategic move by APC to get her.
Yes. Yes.
Now, intelligence-wise, I will agree. Politically, I might disagree, because I do not think that Bianca has so much political,
value in the
Southeast. This is my personal observation.
Yeah, but that's
understand. I don't think she can win any vote for them, really. And there's something I want to point out. Here in APC federal-led government, that now in the whole of Southeast, we only have 2 substantial ministers. APC. It is sad looking at a region. You know, there's a way people see Southeast that makes me angry. And let me say this, very important. When you bring the issue of Ala Igbo in contest, like you want to bring it into Nigerian discussion, they will tell you, they see it from the lenses of Southeast. But I see the conversation of an Igbo man from the lenses of an Igbo man, and not just Southeast.
It's true.
And this is why I say this, there are 3 major ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. You have the Hausas.
Yes.
You have the Yorubas. And then you have the Igbos. So if you're telling me that out of all the Igbo men in this country, only 2 of them, potentially 40 million people, only 2 of them deserves substantial ministerial appointment under APC, I think is a shame.
It is.
I think this again, it is one of those things our people actually complain about. Because at the end of the day, you give these vibes that these people are substandard, like they are not up to par. You understand?
This is also where I also blame our people. Because this is where
But
I
it's
said,
not our people
hold
that
on
the president-
now. I
Okay.
said, this is where I also blame our people.
Okay.
And here is why I blame our people. Because sometimes we are too emotional. So we don't even listen to these guys from the other divide. So you understand? So my question is, how has our people actually treated APC? Go to an average Igbo gathering and talk about APC, or say you are a member of the APC. I even see how they even treat some of them like Adana Brown and the rest of them online. The Pastor Victor something in Aba. So very hostile. So you understand? So what I have always repeatedly said is that Ndi Igbo needs to allow, not all of us must be in PDP. So we don't have the bargaining power inside APC to demand for some of these things. Then the people we have inside APC are people that are self-centered. They are not even focused on. So if 10 ministerial appointments are supposed to come to the southeast, and there are just 5 people there to discuss, those 5 people will not say, you must give us our 10 share. We have our people that are qualified. Give us our 10 share. What those 5 people are struggling for is for themselves.
Their own.
They want to get. So at the end of the day, they are going to struggle and collect that 1-1. And then the 5 that is even supposed to be for them, there is nobody to give it. So what I think our people need to do now, like we have rightfully said here, APC is not an anti-Igbo party. PDP is not a lover of Ndi Igbo. Labour Party is not a lover of Ndi Igbo. Our people need to start allowing our people to be part of any political party, especially when it is a ruling political party. I can tell you categorically some of the benefits that comes from being in the ruling party at the national level. Number one is that you have the ears of so many people within the parties.
Mana Ndi Bani always had that access during PDP days, but nothing still changed.
PDP was
so
PDP
that's what I'm saying.
and
then okay. So Chief, let me say this: we have the number 6th man in the country at the moment.
Yes,
Honorable Benjamin Kalu. We've had Senate presidents.
Yeah.
We've had House of Reps. Not members, speakers.
Yes, leaders.
You understand? Leaders in the House of Assembly for so long. And then these things have not translated to any meaningful development in our region. So again, when he could about the APC and the hostility, the perceived hostility, which again I think it's of their own making. And how do I think it's of their own making? Chief, if I come in an environment where I know that naturally people don't like me, I will where first of all you want to market yourself.
Yes, you want to market yourself. So this is why I am saying that there are marketers who are Ndi Igbo, like Dave Umahi and the rest of them. They have not done a good job. You know that your people don't like this person. Okay, if you're bringing a man home, let's say you are a female, you're bringing a man home as a husband, and you know that this person is from where your particular tribe or your family doesn't like, and then as you're coming with that man, you're now highlighting so much of the things that is dividing your family and that man's family. What will happen? You're going to meet a hostile reaction from your family. So people like Dave Umahi and other Igbo leaders in APC, they have not marketed APC right. If APC is listening to me, APC needs to change their strategy for how they market themselves to Ndi Igbo. Your people, your APC people in Igbo land have not marketed you well. They need to change the strategy. If you need strategists, if APC is still going to be in power, and if you're ever going to ever need if you're going to ever benefit from whatever the likeness of Ndi Igbo can bring for APC, you need to change your strategy. Because the way these people market you to us, the way they market you to Ndi Igbo, the outline and the kind of they use too much of what divides us to market APC to Ndi Igbo. You understand? So that is the problem.
Okay, I mean, I hope and you know, I mean, you're enjoying this conversation we're having. There's still a lot more to, you know, to talk about, and I just want you to open up your mind.
Yes,
this conversation, you know, and that is the truth.
Most avoided conversation.
Exactly. A lot of people don't like talking about this because of the backlash from public.
Yes,
but the reality is that at some point, some people have to say it.
Yes,
and then my brother here, Gaius Chibueze, for me at the moment is like that voice, you know, that speaks to our people, especially the young people, right? I mean, he has shown it, he has lived it, he has walked it, right? And I believe that is why he has the boldness to actually tell you these things. Some of the things you are being told are Ezeokoli, and you need to know the truth. The Bible said, you
shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Yeah. Igbo, it is time for us to be free as a people. And begin to actually play in the big league.
Jack, I'm sorry to cut you.
Yes.
Now, because our political class, you know, I wrote something. Senator Abaribe, he will always come out and shout, Ndi Igbo are marginalized, Ndi Igbo are marginalized. And I wrote something and I asked him a few questions. I said, Senator Abaribe, can you tell us genuinely, for 17 years you have been in the Senate?
Is it up to 17 years?
Or 12. Like 12 years. Whether 12 or 17 years. For the 12 years that you have been in the Senate, can you tell us categorically what development or what have you attracted to Ala Igbo? Because hold on, some people will say it is not the lawmakers this thing to attract project or to bring development. But this same APC led government that you have been saying has been hostile to Ndi Igbo, you have always collected your National Assembly allowance. They share cars, they share jeep that I expected somebody like Senator Abaribe to say, my people are marginalized, I'm not going to take this jeep. You understand? I will not take my monthly allowance and fight. No, he enjoys all these benefits. All we as his people get
then he will whip up sentiment.
He will whip up sentiment. Every 4 years he will whip up sentiment and go again. So what particular thing can we say you have done to change this outside just saying it? Because I expected somebody like Senator Abaribe now to come out and say, this jeep, you remember when there was a controversy when they just resumed?
Yes,
they shared them jeep and other benefits. I was expecting him to say
wardrobe allowance
and the rest of it.
Newspaper allowances.
So Okwesiri Putasi, I am not going to collect this thing. My people are suffering. My people are being neglected. They are this. But we are going to be here hating either APC or whatever it is, hating the federal government. You and your children are going to sleep under an AC. You and your children are going to sleep under an AC house in the night.
Prepared by the same APC
led government. You are enjoying yourself. You have all your benefits. Everything is going well for you. But we, our own is, they hate us. They do this to us. So it is time we give up this. It is time we go. It is time we go in and see what is in there for ourselves. It is time we hold our political leaders in Ala Igbo accountable.
Very important.
Because they have deceived us and have been enjoying themselves.
They have lied
to us.
And they are the ones engineering this hate.
Yes, no.
You see the hate for federal government.
Yes,
is engineered by the politicians here.
Yeah.
I agree with
the
you on
political
that.
class.
But let me only cool about marginalization, and it brings me to a very important topic around agitation. You know, Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, the formations they have, IPOB, Biafra government, you know, those jokers, So I want us to talk about these agitations, their activities. Do you really think? So for me personally, honorable, I mean, I used to say this. I don't give a damn what anybody think. I think that the insecurity in Southeast was engineered by Nnamdi Kanu.
And Simon Ekpa.
No, Nnamdi Kanu is what I'm holding accountable. And I will tell you why before I ask you the question I want to ask you. Kanu went on the whole media and started preaching, sowing seed of hate,
Discord,
saying a lot of lies, blabbing, talking so much about things, both in Nkebe Ezeokwu and Nkabri Ezeokwu, about, and then he degenerated to the extent where he had the audacity and the temerity to form a security outfit called the ESN. They did all the things they did, and at the end of the day, these people will come out and then tell us that it is Simon Ekpa because now he's in captivity. Simon Ekpa took over. So I want to hold the person that started the madness accountable.
I agree with
Do you understand? Then let us now take it and say, okay, it started from
your own share of the blame.
Take your own share of the blame. Then let us now go and hold Simon Ekpa for continuing with the madness.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Again, these things have to be said. A lot of people will not like it, but I get Ezeokwu, and whatever this thing, whatever will come out of it, let it come out of. But we have to say this. So I want to ask you, what are your opinions about their activities?
Okay.
Do you really think that the way they are saying, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu is another savior or something?
No.
Or whatever?
I wrote an article 1 year ago, and I said Nnamdi Kanu is not my hero. Let me tell you how Nnamdi Kanu missed an opportunity.
Okay.
Outside Ojukwu, outside Chief Odumegwu Ojukwu, no other Igbo person has ever had the opportunity Nnamdi Kanu had to change the course of
an Igbo man's
of
history.
Yes, to change the course of destiny, to change the destination from the Igbo. And I will tell you one thing. Nnamdi Kanu was so reverent at a point that all what he needed to do, all what I expected him to do at the peak of his fame, all what I expected him to do was to say, and he would have gotten this done with just by saying it. All what Nnamdi Kanu would have done if I was in his shoes. This is why I think he wasn't smart. And
no, obviously he's not.
I will tell you why I think he wasn't smart and why he will never be my hero. So when he started preaching what Ndi Igbo, most Igbo elites will always leverage the Igbo pain.
True.
They know how Igbo elites always Wazirike leveraged it.
Yeah.
All of them
made a lot of money for
exactly.
Built houses in Owerri, and
Simon Ekpa leveraged it and made a lot of money. I was in a space where they donated $100,000 to Simon Ekpa. So
they're still donating anyway.
So here's what Nnamdi Kanu would have done to be my hero. Nnamdi Kanu had an opportunity to say, my brothers, we have lend our voice to this agitation, but it is time to look internally and hold ourselves accountable. If you look internally in Ala Igbo today, you will know that some of the things we suffer as a people are self-inflicted.
I agree.
And I have always said it in public forums. I said, Ndi Igbo, we must acknowledge the part we have played in our own pain for us to heal.
True.
Until the day Ndi Igbo will sit down as a people and discuss the part we have played in our pain, we will never heal. So this is what I was expecting Nnamdi Kanu to do. Number one, create a new roadmap and say, every Igbo person, make sure you have a branch of your business in Ala Igbo, whatever it is, because he had people who supported him, even from diaspora, sending money. He would have used all these things and said, let us start internally developing our land.
Imagine how many people
would have
killed him
companies
vision because of how they respected him.
Because of how they respected him. All these people that were donating right, left, center. You know how many businesses would have opened? So let's even leave the economic part of it. The leadership part of it. Nnamdi Kanu would have said, okay, for us to get referendum is very easy. So we are going to take over the political structure of Ala Igbo, the whole of Southeast. He had that power. He had that fame at his peak. He would have said, we are going to take over the political structure of politics.
And no governor would have been able to stop him.
No governor. So he will say, he will pick even ABGA, that is purported Igbo party.
Igbo party, yeah.
He will choose any other, or he will create his own. The way he registered IPOB and the rest of other nonsense
Mad
clubs
groups.
that he registered, he would have even registered a political party or whatever, and say, everybody go and pick your PVC. So what we are going to do is that the next election that is coming, which was 2025, we will elect only people that we trust to the National Assembly, to the governorship, to chairmanship and everything.
Councillors.
People that buy into our dream. And guess what? He would have won 90% of this seat. Then what he will do again is, those his House of Rep members and senators that he sent from the Southeast, he would have now told them now that put a bill for a referendum. Push a bill for referendum. The way Nigeria is right now, if somebody pushes a bill for an amendment to the constitution to accommodate referendum, I will tell you that even some members of House of Reps in the Southwest and South, they will support.
I agree.
Because Nigeria is so fragile now that
the unity of our country is not negotiable.
No, it's negotiable. Exactly. So what he would have done is push one of those his senators or House of Reps and said, push for a motion.
It will be their agenda, and even make the agreement before those people are elected. That this is what you want to go there and do.
And even though if it would have not worked, but it would have at least it started a new conversation. So this is why I said Nnamdi Kanu was not smart. So for me, Nnamdi Kanu has never been my hero. He is not my hero. He made terrible mistake because God elevated him. I'm telling you, Nnamdi Kanu is going to come out from prison very shocked to know that most of the people that enjoyed his brainwashing are now wise.
Yeah.
At least I know like 5 people that used to be his foot soldiers that are now very, very wise. Now
they are beginning to see.
Yes, they're through him. They're beginning to put two and one together. You understand? They're beginning to put 2 and 2 together. So Simon Ekpa too. Simon Ekpa is an opportunist. In fact, if you put Nnamdi Kanu started justifiable before he introduced violence to everything he was doing with IPOB. He started reasonably, but Simon Ekpa was just an opportunist that happened to be in a space where Nnamdi Kanu said, "This is Simon Ekpa." Once Nnamdi Kanu mentioned his name, he ran with that video and leveraged Nnamdi Kanu's fame to start milking money. Simon Ekpa was and remains a nobody. He's a criminal and is going to remain in prison. But here is it now. This is also where I said leadership has played a part to the destruction of Ala Igbo.
I agree.
Poor leadership.
100%.
Now, I will give you an example. So there is this guy on Twitter who used to be a staunch IPOB member. So each time I post something about developing Ala Igbo, he's one of those people that will come there and comment, "Hey, we are going to scatter everything if they don't give us seaport, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released." So one day I went to his DM quietly, asked him, I said, "One day, how are you?" He said, "Fine." He was very hostile at first. I said, "Where do you live? What do you do?" I see him, he was a teacher, but he's resigned. I said, "Okay. What are you doing right now?" I see him, he wants to start a small animal farm and that he has been trying to put money together. I said, "Okay." I asked him, I said, "Like, how much do you need to start up this farm?" I see him 1.5 million. So I tell him, "Send me a deck, like a small business plan.
Yes,
Let me see. So he put it all together and he sent to me. I sent him my email. The third day he sent it to me and I went through the business plan. It was smart. He had the strategies to start with one goat, male and female. From there, grow it and everything. I saw it very clear. Some of them are not as daft as the right.
Yes.
You understand. Some of them are not as daft.
Yes, and the lies they've been told.
You understand. So some of them are not as daft as the right. Because I wouldn't say as the speaker. I haven't heard them speak. So he sent me that proposal. So when I went through it all, everything 1.5 million that he needed, I told him one name, send me your account number. He sent me a account number. I said, I'm going to give this to you as a loan, but you're not going to pay me back this loan. When this business succeeds, I want you to pay it forward by doing the same thing for another Igbo person too on this Twitter. You're going to choose somebody from this Twitter and empower him with the same amount when you succeed in 2 years according to your plan. So he sent me his account number and I wired him this morning. Immediately I wired him this morning, the next day he sent me pile of wood that he has bought and he has started his construction. And before I know, my brother, as I'm talking to you so now, the guy's farm is already running. Wow. The goat has already put to bed. This thing happened like 8 months ago. Guess what happened? This guy's tone online has changed.
So it was actually poverty.
Yes, and unemployment.
Yes,
you understand? He was just unemployed. He just lost his job. So the political class in Ala Igbo. So now let me tell you something. So I tried this experiment with one person. I got this result. I went to another person again. I tried it again. This one said he's interested in buying and selling. So he wants to start going to buy shoe from Aba and then selling in Imo State where he was. Guess what? I got the same result. So I noticed that immediately I empowered these two people.
Their tone changed.
So they no longer come Zobu.
Yeah,
you understand?
Aggressive.
That aggressive. We must kill. We must do this thing. So I noticed that. So I did this to only discover that most of this aggression we see exhibited, because before now I used to argue, and I can swear on my mother's grave that these people that are always doing this Nzobu online are not Igbo people. I was among those who used to say it's people from other tribes that will use Igbo accounts being paid. So I didn't know that there were real humans behind those accounts. So I used to be those kind of people. So with this experiment I discovered that first, these people are frustrated. True. Bro, Nigeria is hard.
It's hard.
Nigeria is so hard.
I agree. So, and this is also to federal government, APC, Nnamdi Kanu. Kahama that now, you know, the level of unemployment in Southeast is alarming.
No,
I don't know if the government is actually aware, both at the federal level and at the state level. Our governors are not paying attention to what they should pay attention to. So see Ghana no actually pay Nugu air, actually pay Bonny air, actually pay all those Baudadas and all those
projects that add no value.
That adds no value really. The real people literally in a fly to most of them are not employed. Even the ones that are employed, most of them are underemployed and paid peanuts. They hardly survive with those funds. And so they believe that Nigeria is not fair to them.
Yes. So let me shock you. And this is also where our political class have failed us. So the average Igbo youth doesn't pick form for army, navy, police, and most of these things. So I have a friend who works at the Bank of Industry.
Okay.
And Igbo. So Okbaram Sim, my brother, I've been seeing what you have been doing, but I've been worried for our people. See, I am in the micro loan department for young people, and our people rarely come forward for these things. Sim, how do we change this? So the average Southeast youth from birth is actually it's actually positioned to think that Nigeria has no place for him.
For him or her.
The average Southeast youth is positioned to think that any opportunity that arises in Nigeria is for the North or for the West. That he has automatically been blocked from even applying. So our people are not even interested. Even if there was a quota, our people don't even apply. So our people are not interested. So you see, I was talking to a friend the other day and he told me about something cotton. There was a time Buhari went to a country and he got $40 million investment into cotton. So they brought that this thing to Abuja. So it was supposed to be a cut according to zone. Do you know the Southeast own allocation or whatever?
Quota, yes.
Yeah, the Southeast own quota. Do you know a politician in the Southeast just hijacked it and collected that money and bought houses abroad? So our political class, I always tell people, because Ndi IPOB and the rest of you,
our leaders,
if you want to be really angry and you want me to praise you, you see the people I want you to hold. Unfortunately, you guys lack balls. But do you know the people I want you to hold? The politicians.
From Southeast.
Hold these politicians accountable. Okay, I will shock you. We have been crying marginalization. But do you know our state governments in the Southeast, none of them have missed collecting allocation that is due to the Southeast. So why will I hate Bola Tinubu when Enugu State is collecting its own allocation? Just the way Zamfara collects, just the way Nasarawa collects, just the way Kanu collects, just the way Lagos collects. Why will I hate Bola Tinubu? All I need to do is ask Peter Mba, what are you doing with this allocation? You know, our people are not even interested. So these politicians in the Southeast have made it so bad that our people are not even interested to question them. There's no form of there is zero accountability.
I agree.
So Peter Mba or Hope Uzodinma or any of them prepares a budget, goes to the National Assembly and
state houses of assembly.
Yes, get to the state houses of assembly and get it passed within 1 hour. No public scrutiny. Then guess what? Next year comes, he does the same thing. Nobody from this Southeast asking,
what did you do with
what was the performance of the last one? So these are some of the questions we need to ask. You understand? I am from Enugu State. The person I should be asking, the person I should be looking seriously to is not Bola Tinubu. It's Peter Mba. I should be asking him, what is your plan? What did you do with last year's own budget allocation? How much did Enugu State receive from the federal purse last year? How was this
generated internally?
How much was generated internally? How was this money spent?
Yes.
How has this improved the lives of the people of Enugu? So we are not even interested locally. So these are the issues.
Interesting conversation. So actually, me to give one question. You know, in the last election cycle, 2023, you know, there's a lot of a lot of balls around P2B. You know, and let me boldly say that I played a huge role in creating that momentum around P2B through my platform, Take Back Niger Movement. The question I want to ask you is, do you think that P2B's presidency is the solution to the issues of Ndi Igbo they are facing in Nigeria? Do you think that if P2B becomes the president of Nigeria, that it will solve the problems of Ndi Igbo in Nigeria? What is your personal opinion on that?
Shout out to P2B. He did so well in the last election, even though I'm no longer one of his fans. If the election was
why so?
If the election was to hold today, I will not vote for P2B again. Even if I was to vote, I will not vote for him. If I don't see any other credible candidate outside P2B, I will sit it out. And here is it. And this will also answer your question. I think P2B presidency might not even, it might even hurt the Southeast instead of benefiting it. You know, do you remember when Goodluck Jonathan was president? Can you categorically remember one thing that Goodluck Jonathan actually did for the South in his 6 years of presidency? You can't remember so much. P2B's presidency might actually be worse than that Goodluck Jonathan's own presidency.
Why do you think
so? This is why I think so, especially for Ndi Igbo. So I'm going to narrow it down to Ndi Igbo.
Okay.
So
interesting.
P2B as a person, I feel he's a great politician. He has done well. At least he's the only known politician in Nigeria that has not stole public funds. True. That has not really put his hand into the state government pot. He's the only politician that doesn't collect any form of entitlement from the government. But I think P2B lack the balls to speak for Ndi Igbo. Remember, I'm not talking about presidency. I'm talking about how his presidency will benefit Ndi Igbo.
Okay.
So I feel P2B lack the ball to speak for Ndi Igbo. I will give you an example. There are so many things that I expected after the election. After the election, I expected P2B to, first of all, do a Southeast or a national. He did a national tour, thank you tour. He did a thank you tour. I've seen him in different states going to thank the people who supported him there. But he didn't do any in the Southeast. Now I'm coming. This is not my point. My main point is that I expected the way Ndi Igbo rallied around P2B, I expected him to act somehow like a unifier.
Okay.
I expected him somehow to act like a unifier, to bring Ndi Igbo together. I am not saying he is president of Igbo extraction. I'm not saying that he's a president from Ndi Igbo, but I expected him first, because outsiders will judge you how you treat the people inside. So, even Ojukwu never enjoyed the political blessings P2B had in 2023.
I agree.
Ojukwu contested a whole lot of time until he even contested for Senate and never won in Anambra State. So, what am I saying? What I am saying is that P2B lacks the ball to speak up for Ndi Igbo. P2B, where he lost me was the day he wished Gowon happy birthday. And then, again, I had no problem with him wishing Gowon happy birthday. Fine, you can forgive whoever you see as your perceived enemy, but there was a particular language he used where he said, where they preached hate, you preached love, or whatever it is that he said. So what that his statement actually meant was that his statement, and this is where he lost me, that his statement actually meant that Ndi Igbo were the people causing trouble. Gowon was just trying to beat them into shape to keep them in their place so that they don't mess up. Immediately P2B said that, he lost me. And this is why
But I think he came back to actually explain.
No, whatever explanation he did, in fact, his explanation even made it worse for me. So I was angry at first, but after he explained, okay, I told myself, I've given up. So for me, P2B, P2B, for me, I think P2B's presidency is good for Nigeria, but also not bad for Ndi Igbo. But it has no real, it won't make any change. The same way Bayelsa didn't feel any sort of change during Goodluck Jonathan is the same way the Southeast is not going to feel any sort of change during P2B's presidency. In fact, the people who might actually enjoy more of P2B's presidency again will be the people from other regions like the North.
Very interesting take there. So I think this is where we are going to disagree. Of course, now, because I have my, understanding of his mindset and what he actually meant to say. But let me not make this conversation about P2B, because what we are talking about today is Ndi Igbo. And I also understand your thought process and where you're coming from regarding what you expected P2B to say and all of that, specifically because you are you are entrenched in Igbo cause. You understand? Here basara Ndi Igbo na anugo okunobi na masigi very well. I think the argument P2B make and most of his supporter, including me, will be that P2B has never wanted to be a president of Ndi Igbo. He wants to be the Nigerian president.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yes.
But do you agree that the outsiders, the Hausa man, the Yoruba man, will first see him as an Igbo man?
Of course.
You saw what played out in the last election now.
True.
Even people from Akwa Ibom, Cross River, our brothers and sisters from the neighboring states who looked like Igbo people were actually beaten. Why? Because of who?
Because
P2B. Because they looked like Igbos.
Igbo, yes.
So which means P2B's presidency, Ndi Igbo suffered the most.
True. A lot of hate, a lot of attacks.
A lot of
I saw
hate.
people flogged in Lagos.
A lot of their hate, a lot of the attack, a lot of the things we suffer as a result of
kind of abuse.
Wholeheartedly saying P2B is our choice. P2B is the person that is qualified to run Nigeria. So him not being patriotic to the Igbo cause or Igbo agenda. I don't even want to even use agenda. Him not being patriotic. No matter what I want. As I'm sitting down here, no matter what I want. If I am going to tune down my Igbo-ness to get it, I am not interested.
What? Interesting.
No matter what I want in this life, if I will have to tune down my Igbo-ness to get it, I am not interested. That thing can go to hell.
This is a very strong statement. Very strong statement. And I agree with you. We don't have to. I need to hear Banyoko Anyas and Ndi Igbo for others to like us. That's the truth. We are known as very bold people. Very direct. I know who here goes to it's for your own good. Either ways, we will still survive,
Who cares?
So let me ask you this question as we are winding down, because we've really had a very interesting conversation. I'm sure that some people will have to listen to this podcast over and over again to actually be able to assimilate some of the things we have said this evening. Kanjuagi, what do you think is the way forward? Like, how do you think Igbo people should, especially young people? Young people every time is now, young people
we are the future.
Will be able to drive this process.
Yes, our
you
fathers
understand?
have failed.
I usually tell people, me personally, 45 years, I don't usually engage them in anything basala and Igbo because I feel like they have far outspent their productive years.
Yes,
you understand?
True.
Most of them are now more fixated in their personal life, their family, and everything.
Success.
So for young people that are listening, what would you want Igbo people to do differently? What do you think is the way forward for us as a nation?
I wrote a book called Economic Biafra, The Way Forward for Ndi Igbo. But because of how this useless Simon Ekpa boys and the rest of them
and Nnamdi
Kanu boys, because of how they have bastardized the word Biafra, the word or the name Biafra, I have changed that to Economic Ala Igbo, the way forward for Ndi Igbo. So now, what Ndi Igbo need to do, I wrote it in that book, is a clear 10-20 year roadmap.
Okay.
Just like the Catalonians of Spain. So I will tell you a little story about a part of Spain called Catalonia. So this part of Spain, they have been agitating to leave Spain for almost 5 decades. They said, we don't want to be part of Spain. Let us go. And Spain said, no, you have to stay. just like Ndi Igbo have always wanted to separate from the matrimony with Nigeria, from the first matrimony with Nigeria. So what did these guys do? The Catalonians, what they did was that after so many years of agitation, they came together and they said, we are tired of fighting with these people. We don't want to separate again. What we want to do is to change our approach. So for this next 10 to 50 years, we will focus every development in our region. We will build the biggest football team in the world. It is today called Barcelona. They say we will build the biggest travel destination in the world. It is called Ibiza. They say we will build. They say they are going to build. They gave themselves a roadmap and they started building it. Today, if somebody tells you I went to Spain and I enjoyed myself, 9 over 10 they were in the region of these Catalonians. That is where Ibiza is. That's where Barcelona is. That's where the Barcelona club is. Anything you think that somebody goes to Spain to enjoy themselves is in their region. What did they do? They used this simple roadmap I am also offering to Ndi Igbo, which I wrote in my book, Economic Ala Igbo, The Way Forward. So, for Ndi Igbo, the way forward now is to come together
and concentrate our
economic power and build our region. This is what I preach. This is what I do.
But a lot of people will argue that you cannot do that without political power. So
now I will tell you. When you have economic power, do you know? In fact, it is even the easiest way. It's even somehow the easiest way to the political power that we seek. Bola Tinubu bought the last election. Do you know Nigeria is for sale, but you have to be the highest bidder to have it. Nigeria is for sale, but you have to be the highest bidder to have it. When election comes, check all the state governors. When election comes, it is somehow the man who has the most money that gets the party's ticket and nomination. When election for presidency comes, you see the last election, Atiku was not the most qualified. PDP looked at the size of his pocket and they said, take it, give us the money and take it. You understand? So you need economic power first to be respected. If we make the Southeast the travel destination of Africa, where people come to the Southeast, there is so much development. We have built good roads, good hotels, good companies, production is going on. Everything is happening in the Southeast. People don't have any reason to leave the Southeast to Lagos or any other of these destinations. Again, where if you're traveling out of the Southeast, it's just because you want to go. It's not in seek of economic opportunities. If we build Ala Igbo to that level, there is nothing we want from Nigeria that we will not have. We will be at everything. These Catalonians today, they have even had their presidency. They are on the table of discussion for everything Spain. So all Ndi Igbo need to do now is to build and develop Ala Igbo, which was why I started the campaign Build in Igbo Land. Which is why on a personal level I focus all my investment in Ala Igbo. I have not invested any other place except Ala Igbo and the United States. Because I want to walk that talk. I want to show our people that it is possible. Igbo people travel from here to China to go import goods, to go buy goods and bring down to Nigeria. People can travel down to Southeast to buy and take to other parts of the world. So we need to bring back the Okpara economy, the ideas. I have been studying a book on Okpara, and we saw how he made the Southeast region, the Eastern region. Yes, the old Eastern region. We saw how he made it the fastest growing economy in the whole of the world. This thing is simple. It's not rocket science.
Massive.
Put put the right leaders in place that are development driven, they will do roads. Did you notice something about real estate? Did you notice that no matter how inside that place is, once people hear that the governor is going to construct road to this place,
yes,
price of land there,
of everything skyrockets.
Price of everything around that area skyrockets.
Yes.
That's how the value of the Southeast will skyrocket when we decide to concentrate our investment in the Southeast.
I mean, una no go this one. Because I mean, I've also been saying this, that personally as an individual, I believe that we have everything we need in Ndi Igbo to actually develop. The question now is, especially those of you that donate $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 to people terrorizing our region and funding insecurity and terrorism in our region. To those of you and have actually been listening to this conversation, why not you redirect that fund into something more productive? The more we are able to pull young people out of the streets in our region, the more in our region, the more people have something they are doing, something that brings ends meet to them. They are able to feed their family. A lot of people will not be interested in who they will kidnap and who they will not kidnap. But the problem is that we have for a very long time, abandoned people to their fate. And then a lot of people are now beginning to feel that the only pathway is now to destroy everything. It is not in our best interest. So, this will be my plea to all of you. And then at this point, I would like to, wrap up this conversation here. It's been an interesting one, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.